Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome. My name is Dan Murphy, I'm the Managing Director here at the Broadway Rose Theater Company, and I want to welcome you to our Midday Cabaret Cast Edition. Now, it is sponsored by Pearson Financial, and we appreciate Conrad Pearson, Bonnie Conger, and everybody over at Pearson Financial for their many, many, many seasons of support. So thank you. Today we have two featured stars of our current production, Loch Lomond. We have Colin Stephen Kane and Benjamin Tissell, and we'll be spending time learning about the show, learning about the rehearsal process, and of course, being entertained by some of the glorious songs that you will hear. If you have some questions for Colin or Ben, feel free to submit them in the chat or the comment section on Facebook or the YouTube, and later on in the broadcast, we'll have time to get to a few of them. So with that, let me introduce you to Ben Tissell and Colin Kane. So, hello, and thank you for being here.
For sure.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
So now, you guys, congratulations on opening the show last Thursday. We are up and running, which is fantastic. And with that, we're sort of one of the few theaters that have been able to rev up the engines. I know a lot of people are doing it. It's been 18 months since we've actually had a live audience in here. So both of you, what was it like to be performing in front of a live audience again?
It was really cool. There's nothing in the world like live performance, right? You can do the Zoom plays and you can see the movies and all this stuff, but it's not the same as live performance. Also, as a performer, I was actually just saying before we started rolling that I feel like this was a show where I sort of got back into shape as a performer, vocally, dramatically. I just got used to performing again, which is weird to think that I haven't done it in so long.
Yeah. Right. On our very first table read day, our director, Isaac Lamb, said it, and it was just so perfect that we had moments where we could actually look at each other. At the table reads, we were still in masks, but even just that little bit of connection that you don't get on live stream is what it's all about, and we were so excited from that moment on. Yeah.
Well, and you guys were cast in this show. This, of course, was postponed from our 2020 season in the fall, and so we had cast you well before that. It has been almost 2 years. So I appreciate it. In the meantime, you and Hannah, another performer in the show, had moved to New York. And so you're back here visiting us from New York, which we really appreciate. But I know for us, it's also a learning curve for us to go, wow, we have to get the lobby going and get, and the great thing is it's all masked and vaccinated performances or negative COVID tests, but I think there's a certain comfort level that we've seen with everybody coming back into the theater, which is great. Really
I've been really excited to see the turnout, seeing the people in the house. I was unsure what it would be like to be in a room with so many people again. This is the first time in a year and a half, but that first preview day was just such a cathartic moment to be in a room with people and feel safe and accepted. And there's a moment at the beginning of the show where we just take people in, we welcome them, and then we get going, and it's a great moment.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, now, okay, so Ben, this is your fourth show.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
So you started in with Fly By Night back in 2016, and then you did a Very Merry PD Xmas, and then in 2018 you were in Ordinary Days.
Yeah.
Right. And so with that, here's another show that is new or newer. I mean, this happens to be with Loch Lomond, a world premiere here. But a lot of those shows you probably have never even heard of before you were cast.
Very true. Yes.
Do you gravitate towards that kind of material? Or?
Yes and no. I love. I think I gravitate towards modern musicals, contemporary musicals, because they tend to fit my voice pretty well, and also in a contemporary musical, it's less about the spectacle of dance and jazz hands and all that stuff, which is great and awesome, and I can do it if I have to. I'm not much of a dancer, but it's more about the connections between the characters on stage, and so even when you're singing, you're still playing a scene.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like my wheelhouse a little
Yeah,
bit. And I also just think when I happened to get in Fly By Night, it just started leading to all these new musicals and all these. I was like, okay, I guess this is my thing now.
Right,
But
right.
I do enjoy it a lot.
Well, because you also do a lot of your own music.
I do, yeah.
And
I do a lot of my own
compose.
music, and I am, as an actor, I do non-musicals as well as musicals, and so it kind of all seems to fit together.
Yeah. And I want to remind people, too, that you were actually our very first guest
I was.
on Midday Cabaret
Yeah.
back on May 6th of 2020.
Wow.
So thank you for
course.
sticking with us and coming back.
Of course, yeah.
Because you were quite the guinea pig for all of us. to
Oh
pull
yeah,
this off.
for me too. I was like, okay, my living room, the piano,
Right.
and I don't know what to do.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So now, Colin, you, of course, have been with us. Actually, I realized when I was going through the shows that you had done here, starting with the Addams Family back in 2017, then Mamma Mia in 2018, and then in 2019 it was the Christmas. It happened one Christmas. 2020 was Up and Away, and now we're here in 2021,
Yeah.
and you're doing Loch Lomond for us.
It
so-
almost feels like 3 in a row with a year and a half in between.
well,
But
because you're right, it was.
kind of, yeah. Which is yay. That's three great shows in a row.
Yeah.
I kind of started in the summer shows, which was
Yeah.
definitely more the classical
Yeah.
musical theater comedy. So it's really exciting to be able to flex some acting
These
muscles
small,
in this one.
intimate,
Yeah.
intimate shows. And with that, so you guys, you wouldn't have known the script or the score or anything for Loch Lomond either. And how was it like to create a character where, as much as the you all created it, there's no roadmap. There's no Dolly in a red dress at the top of the stairs, and we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So is that fun? Is it scary, knowing that the authors were going to be here? I mean, it's one thing. Well, Rodgers and Hammerstein are dead. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
So because of that, was it nerve-wracking? Because you also did it with Up and Away, a more recent show where the authors came.
Yeah. I felt that there was more to interpret with this one. That in Up and Away, if anyone had seen it, they'll know that there's a lot of costume changes. It's very rhythmic. It's very you got to hit your beats for the comedy, for the laugh. For this one, it was it was more like a Shakespearean play in a lot of ways. How do you play these scenes? How do you play the drama? And what is the ensemble going to do to lift that up?
Yeah.
So what we found out was the right way to do it was just to be a complete ensemble to really have everyone involved in every scene.
Yeah.
And that was really exciting. You never get a
Yeah.
break off stage, but it's
No.
really, really
No.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Only for, you say ensemble, and I'm thinking, there's no ensemble. Oh, you mean just the four
Just
of
the
you.
four.
Just
of
the
us,
four.
That's it, and you don't. You don't ever leave the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are no costume changes.
Nope.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might add a jacket, but that's as extensive
Whoa.
as we get.
But you won't want a costume change because the costumes are really, really good.
Quite layered.
Great
Yeah.
period
It's
costumes.
very authentic.
Right.
Quite tight.
Yes, yes. And not cool.
That's
To the
true.
touch.
They're nice and warm.
Good, good. So, 25 words or less, give us a synopsis of the show without a spoiler. What do you think?
I would say it's about two brothers in prison for being part of the Jacobite rebellion in Scotland, and their life, their family, their loves, their dreams, their losses. That's what it is.
Yeah, so it's more sort of focused, not so much, as much on the rebellion as the relationships and what you have with. What I'm hoping for is that we will take this time now and they will sing for us. So
Sure, we'll
that's
try.
Great.
Let's do it.
That's great. Well, so now Benjamin and Colin are going to sing a beautiful song from the show. It's called Heather in Her Hair, and it's music by Neil Douglas Riley and lyrics by Maggie Herskowitz. So enjoy this song. I know you will.
I see her shape standing right there, dirt on her dress and heather in her hair. I see her smiling, the sight is beguiling, heather in her hair. Ailey standing silently there.
I think of spring, blue skies and breeze. One look at Elspeth, my soul is now at ease. Odd how it heals me, and how it reveals she's always on my mind.
Amazing how we suddenly find their
Darkness
here.
swirls around me, pulls me into night. Suddenly she's found me, she's sunlight.
I see her eyes, brighter than day. She starts to fade, I'm begging her to stay. Her shadow is leaving, her form was deceiving,
and I stand here alone. The only love that I've ever known is home.
I'll keep you with me,
Is
only show me how.
Close your eyes and see it. They're here now. I see her face. I hear her laugh. I see the lace and heather in her hair. I hear her shouting. She's preening and pouting. I see her dressing and pinning up her hair.
I see her
I think of spring,
standing right there.
recall it with ease.
Blue skies and breeze and heather on the air. I see her smiling.
The sight is beguiling. Heather in her hair.
It's Ailey standing silently
standing there with me.
Wow. That was really incredible. That's one of the 17 songs that you will hear in our production of Loch Lomond. And I've often told people that I am one of the luckiest, I have the best job. I can be in my office, which is, 50 feet from the theater, and I'm able to just sit and have this live concert while I do the glamorous accounting that is part of my job. So I feel very fortunate. Okay, let's take a question from somebody. See what inquiring minds. Suze Ruddick, do you work with a dialect coach, and how hard was that? All right, let's find out.
Great. That's a great
Oh, yeah.
question. We all came in with some semblance of a grasp on the Scots dialect. Some of us have done it before. Some of us hadn't. And Isaac Lamb, our director, sort of operated as dialect coach. So we did a lot of dialect work in rehearsal. That included one-on-one time with Isaac. That included notes in rehearsal. That included when other people, designers, people from the company started watching the rehearsals, going, I couldn't understand that line. Let's pull back on the dialect.
Right.
So once you get it, it's not too tricky,
It's
right?
like learning a song in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's getting into the rhythm. It's getting into the bounciness of a particular cadence. Isaac has a really great ear. We each had some one-on-one time with him, and he pinpointed the vowel sounds that I was not getting, while noticing what I was getting and just saying, you need to focus on these words, these vowels, and that'll kind of slot you into the right area. There's a lot of different dialects in Scotland. When I was trying to do research on my own, that was
And some of them are
trouble.
almost unintelligible to our ears.
Yeah.
The one thing that was tricky for me was we put flavors of the dialect into the songs, the flipped R's or whatever, and figuring out how to sing well while still having some semblance of a dialect going on. So it didn't sound like we're acting as Scotsmen and then we're singing as Americans.
Yeah.
Or you don't sound like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
I mean,
Really hoping not.
I hope not. Yeah.
Oh, well. So Isaac has done a lot of, he's one of our go-to directors for a lot of our new and newer works. So what was that rehearsal process like? I mean, we're kind of known here for our pretty fast rehearsal process. So is that good or bad, or deer in the headlights opening night?
It was a little, come tech weekend, it was a little bit like, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of brain space that this show is taking up. What was really great and helped us stay grounded with our castmates, it was, we did an exercise called Viewpoints at the beginning of every rehearsal, in which we don't worry about the show, we don't worry about the lines or the music. We just walk around the space. We are aware of the space and movement within it and the people within it.
Yeah.
And then we add layers to that, add ability to say yes to things, to do improvised kind of ensemble work, movement, vocalization, whatever that is, whatever comes up. That was really helpful and I think awesome for a new work because you don't have much of a blueprint.
Right.
So it's kind of all organic. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like you're doing
Yeah.
anything else. So
And I guess organically what comes out of rehearsal has the opportunity, again, to make its way in. I mean, really, when you look around, you're dealing with a table, a bench, a couple of bags, and then yet you guys, you and Danielle Valentine and Hannah Lauren Wilson, the two ladies in the show as well, you take us to so many locations, and we just give it up to you.
Yeah.
So, yay, that's great.
That's something I feel Isaac is really good at. I've worked with him in a couple shows before, and he is really good at using a minimal amount of items, props, set,
Yeah.
whatever, and creating many, many different places.
Which, from a producer's point of view, I just love. So few invoices. So we talked a little bit about the accents. Maggie Herskowitz, who is the show's author and lyricist, now she was in town, and you guys had an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with her. And we actually have a little video that she had made for us to just help us push the show along. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that now.
Hello, the internet. I am Maggie Herskowitz. I wrote the book and lyrics to Loch Lomond, and I'm having the honor and privilege of attending all 4 shows the opening weekend. This is the world premiere of Loch Lomond, and I am beyond thrilled to see it come to life with such an incredible team of people, from the set design, which is lush and gorgeous and creative, to the incredibly historically accurate costumes, which I have to apologize to the cast for them having to get in and out of them every night, but it looks incredible, to the cast singing their hearts out every night that they're doing this with amazing Scottish dialects. So much care and love and attention to detail has been put into this debut production for this show, and I am so beyond thrilled with what everyone has done with it. And if you are able to come see my little Scottish skit at the Broadway Rose, I highly recommend it, because these are people who love the theater and make the theater an amazing experience for those of you who get to see it in their 30th season. Amazing.
You know, it was just wonderful for her that the first time she sat here. I said, "Do you want to come to a dress rehearsal?" Because she was in town a couple of days before the show opened, and she said, "No, I just want to sit back, sit in the chair, and just experience it the way the audiences would." And then another thing she did, and I said, "Hey, do you want me to point you out? Because it's so exciting for us to have the author come all the way to Tigard, Oregon, to see their show." And she said, no, I'd rather just sort of wander the lobby and hear what people are saying. And so be careful if you ever go into the restroom what you say, because you never know who's in there listening to you. So one of the things, too, which I think is fascinating, and I don't know if you guys know this, so not only is she so talented and interesting, I want you to know, not only is she a writer, but also an actress, a scientist, a games writer, which is a lot of her bread and butter, and is currently, this is the kicker, is currently earning her Master's of Science in International Animal Welfare, Ethics, and Law through the University of Edinburgh's Royal Veterinary College. Holy Toledo. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. So it was just wonderful to have her here. So we're going to head and do another song,
Great.
if you would. Thank you. Thank you. So this next song that they're going to do, of course, is the title song, Loch Lomond. And I think once you hear it, and especially those of you that have seen the show already, it just brings on a whole new meaning. But so please enjoy.
Oh, ye'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. For me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Oh, ye'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. For me and my true love will never meet on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, by the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where in purple hue the highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloamon. Oh, ye'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. For me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Wow, that is just beautiful. Just beautiful. Yeah, I mean, you get to hear these guys sing. You get to hear Danielle Valentine and Hannah sing. It's really an incredible four performers for that. Okay, so we have time for another question. So let's see what inquiring minds. Tyrene Vada, question for all the actors. How do you take care of yourselves when telling such an emotional story? How do you keep it together? I think the rest of us are falling apart, but how do you guys keep it together?
I think there's a number of ways. I think there's a lot of humor and joking around that happens among the cast. Not on stage. Not really. But we do a lot backstage just together. We enjoy each other's company so well that we're able to, after what can be a heavy emotional scene or a heavy emotional performance, we're able to sort of lighten things up and lean into that a little bit. And then I think also just the more familiar we get with the story, and the more we're able to really dive deep and understand the story, it doesn't hit us anew every time. We enter it, we live it, we experience the emotions of it, and I think we're able a little bit to leave it at the theater and go have a normal life at home.
Yeah, the ending scenes are very sad, for lack of a better word, pretty painful. But that always makes the exiting off into the offstage area every show, and you realize, oh, we're us now, and we're all here, and we're all okay. That just more lovely.
Yeah.
It's great to come off of like a great big dance number and feeling of accomplishment, but to know we just went through an experience like that together, and we made it out, and we're still here.
Yeah.
after everything we've been through the last year and a half, it's really, really nice.
Yeah, well,
And-
just from seeing the audiences as they leave, they are with you too. You may leave the stage and go, whew, but they experience all that with you, and it's really rewarding to see the reactions that people have for this new work. So, yay us.
Yeah, it's really cool to come back to theater after such a long break, and just make people feel like help people experience the story the way we do, and enter it with us. It's very special thing about live theater.
Yeah, and you both guys do it really well. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the video that we have. Just a little promo. I don't even know if you guys have seen it. I think it's out on the Facebook. So, so let's take a look.
We'll be coming home here singing Scots were here with Wallace bled, with the music of musket fire rifles ringing in our heads. We'll be coming home here singing Scots were here with Wallace bled, join our brothers in Tirana or come home and die in bed. We'll be coming home here singing Scots when Bruce has often led. Welcome to our victory, Scots were here with Wallace bled. Scots were here with Wallace bled.
And of course, there's no intermission. We should let people know that. So it's about an hour, 40 minutes or so. And again, none of you leave the stage, so that's a long time. Does the time fly for you?
Yes and no. I'm always surprised about midway through the show. I'm like, oh, we're here already.
Yeah.
And when you're just kind of in it and you're present with your other actors, you don't really notice the time going by. But then every once in a while, your body or your voice will go, excuse me, I'm tired, excuse me. And so little things like, oh, I really need a drink of water right now will help me realize how long it's been.
Right. Right. Wow. Well, listen, I want to thank you both. Thank you both for being here. Thank you for coming back from New York to join us, 3,000 miles away. And it's playing here now through October 24th. And I look forward to seeing you both here tomorrow for a 7:30 curtain. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dan.
All right. Hey, so that is our show for today. I want to thank both Colin and Ben. I want to thank Pearson Financial for all of their many, many years of support. Just so you know, Loch Lomond is here at the Broadway Rose New Stage from through October 24th. So we don't want you to miss out on that. And you can visit our website, broadwayrose.org, or give the box office a call. And I look forward to seeing you in the lobby. Thank you. Goodbye.